What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Lavon Cason, back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a reaction video of inside the Xbox Series S. And as you can see here, I have the Xbox Series S spec list that Windows Central made. So I'm going to be, as I'm watching the video, I'm going to be, clicking back and forth to see whether or not whether or not these guys were right about the specs and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's begin.
When we started this journey in 2016, we set the goal of bringing transformative gaming experiences to all gamers across the globe. Gamers have different priorities and playstyles, but we all want to have the same great gaming experience with the same catalog of next-generation games that we can play with our friends regardless of which device we choose to play on. To deliver on our ambitions, we knew we needed to build two consoles with similar next-gen capabilities at a differentiated price point. By designing two consoles in parallel from the very beginning, we can deliver the same core gaming experience while also making it as easy as possible for developers to scale their games across both consoles with minimal effort. This means that Xbox Series S delivers the same incredible next-generation experience and features as Series X, just at a reduced rendering resolution. With that in mind, I'd like to highlight some of the features and performance benefits you can expect from Xbox Series S, our smallest, most affordable, all-digital, next-generation Xbox console. Xbox Series S leverages the same 8-core Zen 2 CPU architecture as the Xbox Series X.
Okay, so 8 cores, 3.8 gigahertz, custom Zen 2 CPU, so far that's right.
Running at 3.6 gigahertz and 3.4 gigahertz.
Okay, it's a little bit clocked down. 3.6 gigahertz, 3.4 gig, and 3.4 gigahertz.
With simultaneous multi-threading
enabled.
The primary difference between Xbox Series X and S is the GPU. Xbox Series X is designed to deliver a next-generation gaming experience in native 4K at 60 frames per second with support for up to 120 frames per second. Series S is designed to deliver the same great next-gen experience at 1440p, also with support for up to 120 frames a second. It also includes an advanced hardware scaler to upscale your games when you're connected to a 4K TV. Xbox Series S also has full hardware support for AMD's latest RDNA 2 feature set.
Okay, so let's go to the spec list. Custom RDNA 2 GPU.
Including hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. Mesh shaders, and variable rate shading, the exact same as Xbox Series X. Xbox Series S contains 10
gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. Okay, so let's go back to the spec list. Okay, memory, they got that right. They did.
Of GDDR6 memory running at 224 gigabytes per second, scaled in line with the target resolution. Both consoles are powered by the Xbox Velocity architecture, which means you can expect the same next-generation benefits from Xbox Series S, including faster load times, consistent and higher frame rates, and new features
Gameplay!
Xbox Series S advances the state-of-the-art even further by adding new innovations such as sampler feedback streaming, only possible on our next-generation consoles.
It's not possible on the Xbox One S or the Xbox One X.
With sampler feedback streaming, Xbox Series S is able to load only the portions of textures required to render the scene, just when they are needed. It allows games to load texture data with a much finer granularity than ever before, resulting in a massive leap in I/O and memory efficiency. The Xbox Velocity architecture works in perfect harmony with our custom SoC to make this possible, including our custom NVMe SSD, dedicated hardware decompression blocks, our new direct storage API, and sampler feedback streaming. This enables, on average, approximately 2.5 times improvement on I/O bandwidth performance and memory utilization
give us an example.
Beyond the raw hardware specifications.
Give us an example.
Developers can use this improved efficiency to increase the amount of detail and texture variety, or provide additional resources to other systems such as AI. This means that next generation games will load much faster, texture quality can be significantly increased, and quick cuts between scenes are now achievable.
So there's a difference right here with the 1S and the Series S.
Keeping the player immersed in the game world. Here, you can see how much more quickly games can load on Xbox Series S. The player on Xbox Series
12 seconds.
S is already enjoying the Outer Worlds, while the player on Xbox One is still waiting for the game to load.
There's a difference right there.
This is important not just when players launch a game for the first time, but every time. Whether it's time to load in a new level or restart from a previous checkpoint after a momentary setback, Xbox Series S gets you back in the game faster than ever.
So you see that, guys? See the difference? It only took a game 12 seconds to load on the Series S, while on the 1S, it took 53 seconds to load.
With Quick Resume, this is how easy it is to move from one pause game to another and pick up right where you left off. Suspend and Resume made it simple for Xbox One players to put their consoles to sleep and get back into the game later. With Quick Resume, Xbox Series S owners can have multiple games in rotation and easily move among them in a snap. As we said previously, we designed Xbox Series S to target 1440p at 60 frames per second with support for up to 120 frames per second. For a closer look at what 120 frames per second means for games, let's go over to our friends at the Coalition.
When Gears of War made the move to 60 frames per second on Xbox One, players benefited from higher frame rate, fluid motion, and increased gameplay responsiveness, which is so essential for a precision multiplayer game like Gears. We're excited to announce that with next-gen gaming on Xbox, Gears is taking a huge leap forward beyond 60 frames per second. With our update to Gears 5, we're bringing 120 frames per second multiplayer to Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. At 120 frames per second, every reaction and input is translated to on-screen action even faster, without compromising visual quality. The Xbox Series S is more than 4 times as powerful as the Xbox One S. It's certainly capable of 120 frames per second.
Let's go back
and we've
a little
enabled
bit.
as powerful as the Xbox
So let's go back a little bit.
S is more than 4 times as powerful.
It's more than 4 times as powerful
as the Xbox One S.
As the Xbox One S.
It's certainly capable of 120 frames per second, and we've enabled that with Gears 5 without compromising visual quality. You really need to play it to feel how smooth and responsive the game is as your controls translate into gameplay with less than half the latency. This is so important for Gears, a game that requires precision aiming and shooting, high-speed cover movement, and twitch-based player versus player battles. We cannot wait for you to experience the performance of 120 frames per second on both Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X.
With Xbox Series X and S, your favorite games seamlessly scale across devices while maintaining what's new and innovative about our next generation consoles. We wanted to make the development process as easy as possible for developers around the world to build their games for both consoles. All the games you see here are running on Xbox Series S.
Okay.
Developers today already use a number of techniques, such as dynamic resolution
Okay,
scaling.
so let me turn up the quality a bit, so that way you guys can see it at its fullest. Okay, so 1080p 60. Okay,
While
there
maintaining
we go.
what's new and innovative about our next generation consoles. We wanted to make the development process as easy as possible for developers around the world to build their games for both consoles. All the games you see here are running on Xbox Series S. Developers today already use a number of techniques, such as dynamic resolution scaling, to scale their games across multiple performance profiles. And the design of Xbox Series X and S empowers them to continue to do so without requiring fundamental changes. Developers will typically optimize their games first for 4K on Series X, and then scale down the rendering resolution to 1440p for Xbox Series S, while still supporting all of the other great next-gen features. With support for all of the same next-generation features and capabilities in both Xbox Series X and S, developers can focus on delivering the same great gaming experience on both consoles, and their power, speed, and performance will enable the future of games.
Alright, so that was pretty much it. Alright, so the internal storage is 512 gigabytes. You know, that's what comes in with the system. You know, this is what they've been promoting, you know, 1440p up to 120 frames per second. They didn't really say anything about the teraflops, but they did say something about RDNA 2. So I don't know if it is 4 teraflops. I don't know. Maybe it could be higher, or maybe it could be the same. But yeah, it's supposed to be releasing on November 10th, and it's supposed to be, you know, $300 pretty much. And also, pre-orders will be open for this system on, I think, September 22nd and something like that. So, we know about the Series S having, you know, pretty much 10 gigabytes of GDR6 RAM because it was said in the video itself. Let me see if I can find
at 60 frames per second with support for up to 120 frames per second. Series S is designed to deliver the same great to including hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing of GDDR.
Xbox Series S contains 10 gigabytes of
memory
GDR6
running
memory.
at 224 gigabytes per second.
Okay, so let's do that
memory
again.
running at 224 gigabytes. Xbox Series S contains 10 gigs of GDDR6 memory running.
Okay, so he said it himself, so it does contain about, you know, whoa, what the hell? No, not that. So it does contain, you know, 10 gigabytes of GDR6 memory. You know, they did pretty much say that it has 8 cores, though. I think it was at 3.6 gigahertz. So, yeah, it's a decently spec console, and it is more powerful than the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. What do you guys think? Are you guys going to pick an Xbox Series S up? Let me know in the comment section below this video. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. When you hit the notification bell, you gotta hit all notifications. And also too, I do have a Twitter, as you can see here. It's at Lavon1874. Follow me on Twitter if you want to get notifications of, you know, the latest Lavon Cason videos, or my thoughts on certain things on the gaming industry, and also too, future, if you want to see like what's the future of the Lavon Cason channel gonna be, you know, follow me on Twitter at Lavon1874. It's at Lavon1874. See you guys later, and peace, and yeah, I hope you guys have a good day.